the pistol a little bit more when he's starting to arrive. So when you open up the receiver, it sounds amazing. You know, you can really hear those little nuances of things he's done. But if you were just somebody with a radio that you can't open it, he still sounds good. When he was the 2E0, I forget his full time now, but when he was 2E0, he was messing about it then, and it always sounded good at 3K. But if you opened it up, it sounds better. And you know, with all his messing about with it he's done, he's playing around, he's experimenting. You know, I can say he's one of the ones that does sound great at 3, 2.8, 3, 4, 5, where he's at, you just get a better response. He never sounds bad. Some of the guys I've heard now, like the new sort of inlet of people who are spending money on audio gear. I mean, me and you aren't those people, are we, Sean? Do you know what I mean? We're just doing it as we do it, you know. Spend a little, mess about a lot, but never really get like huge, super huge performance, because we won't, you know, unless you're buying. I'll tell you as well, videos of this today. He's always there, but he said to me that I asked him how I was sounding when I got my little EQ box up, and he said you sound as good as you can with the equipment that you've got. And you know what? That was some great advice, because you will only sound as good as with the equipment you've got. And you know, in his personal opinion, he said, with what you've got, you're sounding the best you can be, in my opinion. And I was like, well, thank you very much. I'll take that. You know, that's good. But there's, you know, you've got the newer breed of people coming in, spending money, buying all the bits and pieces, and which is great. You know, if you can do that, and you know you want to do that, that's fine. But I'll tell you one thing, and it's a definite thing you can hear, is that you can spend 300 quid on a 2496 you can buy. And all the rest of it, but if you haven't got the ear to make it sound good at 2.8 even when you're running at that sort of frequency response, or you're running higher, to the as a normal listener, if you don't sound like VDO does on those lower frequencies, then you know, I think you haven't cracked it yet. So yeah. But what you're saying there, so what I was trying to get you a long bottle behind you. I have had to redo it. You can turn it down a bit once you've messed about with it, but you sometimes get a little bit more interruptions at the low end. You think, oh, it's not quite as round as it was, and you know, all that business. I think get it to the point where you're sounding good to normal sort of listening, and then, you know, when you open up your receiver, you just get the best of it. But you'll only get what you get. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure the RS on your Yates, I don't know, you could probably go up to 6K maybe, you know, or more. But with the processing that's available, and you know, the way you do it, it's sort of much. You know, the knowledge as well comes with actually knowing about it, and I'm guessing what's not the people that's what that's it. But it's good to listen to them. But you can tell a bad one, sure, but you don't sound bad at 2.8 or 3K. You sound good. And when you're wider, it does sound good, but you've been twiddling and poking with stuff. I don't know. It could sound better, that's for sure. That's probably not what I want to hear, but you know, that's all I can say, Sean. G000Q M6XX.
Yeah, G000Q. Just just locked the second room now. It's a different RV, isn't it? It depends how far you want to go with things. Yeah, we all want nice audio, but I don't want all of that here. I'm sorry, it's not for me. And also, yeah, Tony's got smashing. He's also got the voice. I'll tell you another one. EI2HW. He's got the voice. I mean, he can use anything and he sounds good. So that comes into a lot of it. And then you get some people who've got a dreadful voice. With all the one in the world in the most expensive equipment, rack gear or whatever, you just can't polish a turd. So that's what you got to remember. But anyway, hopefully it's near enough. And as long as it's near enough to you, that's all I want it to do. So I'm going to leave it alone for now and just enjoy radio. Do you know what? I haven't picked up a Morse key for about two or 3 weeks. I've done nothing. That's something I want to get back into because I was doing like maybe 2 or 3 QSOs a day at one time and I've forgotten it for a bit because I've had a lot going on. I was passing around with setting up different programs on the computer and little things like that. You know, it all takes up time, doesn't it? But I shall leave it as it is, Paul. As long as I'm sounding as I was, I'm happy with that, over.
Yeah, definitely, Sean. I mean, the conditions are different and everything, but I think, to be fair, I'd like more top end. Have you just put your compressor up a bit, Sean, just to get that top end it. This isn't the answer to what I need you to do, or you need to do, I'm sure, but just put your compressor up a little tiny touch more, Sean. Just let me hear it so I can definitely say you're back to where you was.
What, you want more processing, a bit more kick, yeah?
Yeah, just a little bit more boost that top end.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's with processing on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How's that, Paul?
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. That's what I can hand on Art Tray now. That's how you sounded before, Sean. I just thought it was just a little bit on the left of the high side. Do you know what I mean, buddy?
Yeah, okay. Let me just quickly try it with it off. You know what? I never used to use processing. Anyway, that's with it turned off. That's no processing at all. Just inbuilt EQ. How's that, Paul, over?
Yeah, it just hasn't got that high rise. When you put it on, your lows are good, but they're complemented with your nice shiny high. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
G0 key on just flicking compression with. Yeah, that's probably I don't know, about 6 dB of compression. Peaking maybe a little bit more on the yeah, it's certainly within 5 dB at the moment. I raise my voice, it peaks up and on about 7 or 8 dB. So yeah, I get it. HW actually said when I EQ'd the last radio, you just need that bit of compression with your voice just to lift your low end a bit. But anyway, as long as it's okay, Paul, that's enough for me, over.
Yeah, definitely, sure. Man. Honestly, mate, even if you think, oh yeah, maybe it's like 6, 7, 9, just get it up a bit. I mean, I'm looking at my compression on here, and it's not much, but I'm using completely different strategies. My LC like bounces over around about 3/4, obviously 3/4 of the way to the top scale. I get about, on this year it says 0 to 20. I'm around about 11 or 12. And my compression is literally it's hardly anything. But if I open hang on, that's long. I won't do that. If I put the compression up a bit. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what? That's about 1, 2. That's about 5. That's about 8 dB of compression, right? And I don't know what I've done to my audio, but it's probably a dramatic effect because I never usually have it up that far. But an ICOM and a Yaesu radio are different beasts, and I've got my my audio sort of thing set up in a different way to you. You're using an internal thing, I'm using this external thing, it's different. But, when you pick yours up, it just sounds right. I mean, I'm putting mine back down to 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. Yeah, it's just blinking at about 1, a 1 of compression, 1 decibel of compression, as it is now. But when you turn yours up, it just goes from, maybe you're only accentuating the bass line, so it sounds muffled. But if you put the compression in, it sounds more toppy. But it sounds more toppy, complementing the bass line that your audio is producing as well, Sean. Go.
Yeah, okay, G000Q. And yeah, I'm peaking 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Within the 5 dB. It's next to, it's a cat's whisker, a gnat's whisker even. So I think less is more. I could tell when you put yours up, Paul, it actually increased your lows as well. You know, not just it wasn't distorted, I might add, but I preferred it less. I did prefer it less. But and another big factor, Paul, is we're very close. I'm not. Hang on. Turn that off. I'm not receiving you at the strongest. You're around S8, S9. I'm probably running a little bit more power than you. I'm running about 70 watts here. And of course, with the strongest signal, it just lifts everything anyway, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? So you might be your best, but you're perfectly readable. What I'm saying is, if you use yourself, if we were later in the day, and you were like plus 20 dB over 9, it lifts everything, and it's a big factor, no doubt about that, Paul. But yeah, when you put your compression on, I could tell, sorry, when you boosted it, I could definitely tell. Not distortion, but it wasn't the sound I wanted to hear, Paul, over.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And me either. I mean, it's one thing saying you like a certain sound, but if it's just sounding like, I mean, I think where me and you are with the sound, you just want, I mean, that sounds rubbish to me. Hang on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's a little bit too much compression again. So yeah. To be fair, Sean, you sound like you did, if not better. But there's so much room for improvement if you want to, because I know you've probably got a lot more scope on that radio to do different things. Certainly with I don't know what's the maximum FSB bandwidth you can get on it. I'm not sure. I know that going out at 6K isn't the preferred method, right? You know, I'm not saying that, not at all. But you know, you can really tell what people are doing. But you can have your radio like 10 watts, can't you? And then you can just flip the amplifier on. Which I'm pretty sure you're not using an amplifier because you're about 59. I don't know if you've seen the video that I sent you. The phone's gone now. It's not gone off, but you know, it doesn't look like you've seen it yet. But anyway, you'll be able to tell that you're usually you're sort of like 20 over if you've got the amplifier on. We're not going to see other people. But I think our normal sort of signals between each other on this band is around 7, 8, 9, isn't it, you know? Usually you're over 9, and I'm usually about 7 or 8, I don't know if you would. And some are using like 150, 200 watts. But yeah, your audio is really good too. There's nothing wrong with it. And you're still using your, which microphone is it, the SEC or whatever it is, mic you use in Dawn, over?
Yeah, G000Q. Yes, the SE Electronics 2200 is a condenser mic. And I'll be honest with you, Paul, I'm seriously considering trying a dynamic mic. I mean, you know where I am here. Kitchen dining room. This thing will pick up the dog walking across the floor. They're a nice mic, but they're very, very sensitive. So, I don't know, I might borrow Steve, see if I can lend his, well, he's going to bring it round here, we might just plug and play it and see how it looks on the radio, it's driving things, you know. But yeah, I've had a quick listen to the WhatsApp, and yeah, it sounds enough for me. I don't want to get too deep into it, you end up chasing it over bloody tail, round and round, and I could be doing things. But in saying that, I don't want to sound crap. I don't want to sound like an Italian chasing DX, chasing it off. I just want to look around and say, yeah, this new radio, yeah, 4K, same as the others. Anything in the SDDX range is 4K. The 1200 is 4K, and the 3000 is 4K, the 5000 is 4K. They're all around that, maybe a touch wider. They won't go out to 6, and personally I wouldn't want to. My preferred bandwidth is around 3K for, and well, that's where I intend to end up, and I think that's, I mean, running out 2.8, you're in some amazing quality stations with lovely, beautiful audio going out at 2.8K. I've just got the balance just right, and you can do it around 3K, you know. Yeah, it's nice to go out 4K sometimes, or even wider, but for what we do, it's not really my field for. M6XXD G000Q.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, to be honest with you, mate, I agree with you like a million% there, mate. I think if I could give you any advice at all, it would be about headphones. If you're spending time going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and shouting into a dummy load, going audio, which I know is an absolute waste of time, and it just does your head in, to the point where you think, why the hell am I doing this? You just go on 70 cents and talk something on repeat, and you're like, oh yeah, that's better. And it doesn't matter how you sound, does it? Because you're going to Yoke or something or whatever. But if you really want, I don't know what headphones you use for, and I made the mistake. I like, as you know, I like my music and mixing and stuff, and I bought a pair of the best headphones I could afford, the Sennheisers, and but they're really good for like high or low bass sounds, top end, but it's for music orientated sort of monitoring. But a mate of mine told me, he said, if you're doing audio for your radio, you want a pair of proper studio monitoring headphones. And I got the Sony MDR7506. I don't know if you know the headphones, but they are really, really good because, like you said before, George, you know, when you're monitoring the 991A or whichever way you're trying to monitor it, you know, even via screen or anything, like you're listening to your audio, you're saying, you're speaking, and you're sort of like capturing it. As you know, that's not going to give you like the best sort of way of hearing it, is it? But the MDR7506, they're really good for the sort of communication audio sort of frequency, but with the full fidelity hi-fi. If you want, you know, they're more. If you just talk into your monitor on the 7506 headphones, you're going to get more. And this is in my own meandering experience with different radios and listening via hatcheries and other recordings that people have done for me while I've been using the headphones. These headphones sound far more similar on monitor and then into the reality of TX actual received audio than any other headphones I've ever used, Sean. So definitely a pair of 7506 Sony MDR headphones would be a smashing purchase. And they're only about if you go onto Amazon, you're probably getting less than 85 quid, but they're well worth it, Sean. That's my only top tip for messing about with and trying to sound like your monitor sounds like. Anyway, Sean, go.
Yeah, I've got all that. Just stand by for just half a minute, Paul, please. Four. Within the 5 dB, it's a cat's whisker, and that. Yeah, okay, 1, 2. Apologies for that, Paul. I just did a quick tune up as well. I've put the linear on. I got everything you said, and yeah, fine on the headphones. No, I've got a high headset here, and I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of using it for transmitting on anyway. I mean, it is what it is. It's one of those. I only wear headphones for when needs must. But I've heard other people talk about the Sony. They're very, very good. Paul, listen, I've increased power on your nice security cam to do another WhatsApp recording of me, over.
Yeah, okay. I tell you what, it has made a difference. And I tell you what, it's made a difference for it's sacrificed that top end. It's gone a little bit more low. So, I tell you what I'll do. And I can do a WhatsApp video for it as long as you want, mate, right? So, if I just say to you now, you carry on talking and make a few changes, listen to the changes it's making, you can hear it for yourself, and I will put the phone and record whatever you want. It might take half an hour to send it afterwards, but mate, if you want me to do that, then I'll be more than happy to do that. I'm trying to keep the standard as well. I'll sort of further speak to where I think you're comfortable listening, and then you can make your own things from that. So if you want me to go, I'll go. G000Q M6XXD looking and wait.
Yeah, okay, Paul. G000Q. I've increased power, and I've done that in the because I noticed there was a bit of QR, just a noise floor with my last transmission. Anyway, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. This is with processing off, which is how I've always used it in the past. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with processing off. Everything's pretty much as it always was. And if you just bear with me. Okay, this is with processing on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's bound to boost frequencies because I'm running more power, and we both agreed that we were low signal. So that's with processing on, and I'll just give you a bit more. I'm hoping you're still recording it. With processing on, and now I'm going to processing. Yeah, that's with processing off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hopefully that'll give me some idea of how I'm sounding for M6XXD G0 OOQ.
Okay, so that brings way up over to you. You make of that as what you want, and I'll let you jumble around the content of your phone. I think somebody might have been calling in there, Sean. Will I take whoever it was who's calling in? I'm going to go and grab a beer, mate, but I'm sure somebody called in. And I'll be back if you're hanging around, Sean.
Yeah, okay, Paul. You go and grab a bit. I'm not going to stay too long because Jane's in the garden, and she's just asked me if I want a drink, and me and you've been rabbiting for a bit. My voice is getting a bit croaky. But anyway, if there was another call, do you want to go ahead? This is G000Q, not too far away from Shrewsbury, Shropshire, over. No, I'm not hearing anything.
Right, cool. We've done any chatty break there before, while someone was talking? Oh, no, I can't hear anything, cool. Just give me 2 seconds, I'll be back in 1 minute. But if you get in the way, mate, that sounds that. I'll leave that recording sending to you. It's like halfway through, so it's like the extras, all those drivers that are part of the download. But yeah, sure, but I don't know what you thought of the last recording. I didn't see the recording. What do you think of the one I sent to first of all, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't sure what the bandwidth was on that, but that one now, the one I've just hopefully you recorded me on was at my maximum bandwidth. So we'll see how it is anyway. The thing is, Paul, you give out a CQ call and you don't get many replies, but if you mention audio, you get loads of people jumping in over.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a, personal thing, isn't it? And, I could see you put the power on the video, but it's just all like, using no power, but when you do that, it sort of just amplifies as it was, you just amplify everything as it was. But, there's not hearing it as it should be from the over the clear signal. You don't know, do you? But, you could be listening to it's sounding great at certain things, you amplify it. That's what I was wondering before. Where your first settings were, the ones that you came and said hello to me before for, I think they were the same, and you just lifted the amplitude of those. I think it would have sounded like good audio, maybe more better, or much more clearer than and more responsive to my ears, and it would have sounded like a really, really nice round audio. But because those lower-ended, the higher-ended ones weren't boosted on the very first one, that's why it sounded a bit more. Maybe I didn't appreciate how it sounded. You know what I mean? You've gone back to Sean settings number 1 on the FPGF 2000, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's loads better. But whatever you had in before, don't forget and keep them there. But if you can just get the volume of those frequencies up and don't change the frequencies, then that would actually be. It could be a lot better than this, Sean. But that's just my own meandering thought. Probably took too long. I'll go and bang the evidence a bit wall or something, just to, I'm sure somebody wants to do it to me, they're going to shut me over.
Yeah, okay, Paul, just check I'm not doubling. Yeah, okay, my man. Anyway, Paul, I'll let you go. Yeah, just a comment. It's the way to... It's not good giving out audio reports when we're both sort of average signal. You need a better signal to give it all a boost. But anyway, it is what it is. I'll have a listen to those. Hopefully I'll get that WhatsApp message in a bit. I don't think the phone's actually, I think it's in silent. But hopefully it's sent it and I can make my own mind up. At the end of the day, I know how I want to sound. And I can let you go. Go and grab your beer. Do what you got to do. We've got we've got curry tonight. Because we have visitors, we bought extra portions and we're frozen. So we've got the old Greenfield spice tonight and korma, curry, and then we'll just do some rice and chips with some oats. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Perfect ending to a nice sunny afternoon in the sun. Paul, I'll give you 7-3. Thanks for all the help. It's good to talk to somebody who knows my voice. And you know what it's like, you get that many opinions with, we've all got different hearing, haven't we? This is a big thing. Anyway, I'll let you go, Paul. Thanks very much for putting up with me. M6XXD 000Q.
Always a pleasure, Sean, never a chore. See you later, mate, and hope you get that video, have a listen, mate. Always, let's say, mate, give us a WhatsApp if you're ever messing about, if you want a little bit of a recording. Honestly, you don't even have to talk to me about how I'm doing or anything. I'll just record it for him, mate, and then send it to you. Only joking, mate. Nice to you, Sean. Take care. All the best to Jane, lad, and enjoy your day. Call me, thanks, good. It's definitely something that, what we have, oh yeah, I've got this sandwich to have, mate. Barbecue tomorrow, Sean. Barbecue tomorrow, yeah. It's always good. See you later, brother. D0000273 M6XXD G3 signing, and wishing all the best for you. Mate.
Yeah, okay, Paul. Cheers for now, and we'll speak soon. 7-3.
G000Q, Mike 0 Echo Bravo Juliet.
Okay, good evening. Yeah, it is. Good evening to you. Mike 0 Echo Bravo Juliet. Familiar sound. You're the mechanic, but I've forgotten your name. Go ahead.
Yeah, the name's Steve, Sean, and I'm just outside Norwich, mate. Hope you're well. Back to you.
Yes, Steve, very well. Do you know what? I was listening to you last night on bedtime. I always have a small glass of scotch, and I listen on that green, and you were coming through very, very strong on that green last night, and it was a bit of a net. But yeah, trust you okay, Steve, over.
Yeah, not too bad at all, Sean. Had a lazy weekend, and don't plan on doing a lot tomorrow either, so yeah, I've enjoyed the weekend off work, and playing a bit of radio, and doing a bit of clearing up and bits and pieces, but yeah, you're not that strong signal-wise. There's a lot. The band is in funny shape today. Yeah, 1 minute you're 5 and 8, then you're 5 and 9 plus, but I can hear everything you say anyway, Sean. On the 240-foot double, I modified it a couple of weeks ago from 180 to 240, and yeah, it seems to be working a treat, especially on 160 now. So that's what we're using, Sean. Still on the 950 by Yaesu, and about 400 watts coming out the ACOM. G000Q and 0EBJ.
Yeah, G000Q. Well, I've just increased my power. Hang on, I'll go up a bit more. That's probably the, I don't know, about 300 watts right now. I rarely go over sort of 250. But yeah, the band's in pretty dire shape, Steve. You're not too strong either. Sort of S7, S9 at times. Nothing like you usually are, but it's been rubbish today. I come on 80 earlier. Not very much. I went on 40. I think I worked at, yeah, I did. I worked at a Popper Alpha just briefly. I don't think he could even speak English. I can't knock him for that, of course, because I can't speak foreign languages. But now it's just generally be quiet. And I went up on 10 metres. I had a scan. Well, I checked all bands. It was just quiet. So in the end, I went out and enjoyed the sunshine, you know. And I just come back and yeah, just doing a little bit of audio tweaks with my mate up the road, Paul. Just trying to get this radio sounding something like I used to sound. So hopefully it's not too bad for you, Steve. Lovely audio as always from the 950 and yeah, the big doublet. I'm just running the G5RV and that's up at about 35 feet, supported on one end on the chimney pot, and then I've got spider beam in the middle and a spider beam at the end, and it gives a bit of light. Doesn't seem to work too bad, Steve. Anyway, back it comes, open. I'm not sounding too bad at all. Running the new SunSDR2-DX 101D. M0EBJ, G000Q.
G000Q and 0EBJ. Well, it sounds okay, Sean. It sounds okay, but it doesn't sound your usual bubbly self. It's just maybe just lacking a bit of top, like your friend was saying. I'm listening for a while. I've been doing other things there, but it sounds okay, but it doesn't sound your usual self, I must say. It needs a bit of a sparkle in there, possibly. That's all I'm saying. But it's readable. It's readable, Sean, but it is not your usual sound. But I'm sure you'll keep playing about and tweaking it, and you'll get it just about how you like it. But as you say, it's how everyone wants to sound. They've got their own opinion on how they sound. My sound, I don't want to sound, you know, I leave my settings alone, and I call DX like this. I don't alter anything for any band. It's the same everywhere I go, whoever I'm speaking to. And luckily enough, I get some really nice reports. But it took me a long while to bloody get it where I wanted it. You know what I mean? It probably took me a year on and off to finally sort out all the issues I had, bits and pieces. But yeah, if you look on QRZ, Sean, I've got a homemade tuner right in the shack here, right next to the radio. The 600 ohm feeder comes right in here with a 1-to-1 choke and just an L match on a bit of wood. And it's amazing I don't get any RF issues, considering all the RF issues I had before when I had the feeder outside and the balun outside. But I think I finally got things working a treat, mate. But yeah, it's all good. And I know lots of people have got them and the DX10s, and I said the receiver on the new ones are so good. And I bet you've noticed the difference as well. I think you had a 3000, didn't you, last time we spoke? But yeah, I know the receiver on them is absolutely awesome, isn't it, mate? So well done on having a change. And yeah, I don't know, I might have a change later on in the year. I'm not that fussed at the moment. This really does what I want it to do. So I'm just going to stick with this old cheapo FD950. Sure, they are cheap radio now. You can get them for 500 or 600 quid, you know. But it's done me so far. I've had it a couple of years now, and it's okay. G0OOQ M0EBJ.
M0RDW.
Yeah, acknowledged M0RDW. I recognise that. I think you're from Stoke area. Yeah, Steve, I've not had it long, and it's a bit of a bloody minefield, to be honest, setting these things. I'm only using the internal Yaesu EQ, but I appreciate there's a bit of work. Yeah, the 3000 smashing radio. I really enjoyed that radio, to be honest. And the 950, you know, you've got it sounding lovely. Can't fault that at all. It all depends what you want from the hobby. I'll be honest with you, audio is not really my thing. But in saying that, we all do want to sound nice, don't we? But without going too overboard, that's just my personal preference. I don't really want to take the route of getting too deep into it and what have you. Anyway, there was another station in there. I think it was M0. Was it RDW? Do you want to come in? Go ahead.
Yeah, M0RDW. Good evening, gents. Trust you well. You're right. You're very right. It's Rich from Stoke-on-Trent. I didn't quite note down your call. I got Steve's though, EBJ. You both a cracking signal. Biggest signal on the band to me on my band scope. So yeah, conditions are strange, but I can hear, and that's the main thing. Just been messing around on the higher bands. 10, 12, 15, 17. Not much DX, just a little bit of Euro. So I thought I'll come and see what's going on down here. And heard Steve's dulcet tones. So there we go. From M0RDW.
Yeah, I'll just check I've got it. Yeah, G0 Oscar Quebec. That's my call sign. Is it Rich or Richard over?
Either. I'm not offended by either, over.
Some people get funny, don't they? Some people don't like being called Pete. They like to be called Pete. But anyway, you know what? Some people used to call me Cian at school. It was something the teachers struggled with, and I used to say, well, it's Irish. But anyway, yeah, Richard, I'm sure we've spoken before, and I've heard you many a time, and yeah, you're sounding nice. Nice, rich audio coming through. I think you're into your audio a little bit. Perhaps you comment on mine. I've not been on this radio too long. It's a new one, FDX 101D. It's a little bit different to the 3 before, Rich. Anyway, I'll pass it round to Steve, EBJ. Go ahead, G0OOQ group.
G0OOQ in the group, M0EBJ. You come up now, Sean, 5 and 9 plus 10. And very good evening, Rich. Nice to hear you on the main station. You're a 20 over, lovely signal. And hope everything is well with you, Rich. I've done the same as you, really. I know you about on the bands. Have been pretty poor all day, like you were saying there, Sean. I think I worked a couple of Europeans, as you say, but there's not a lot of DX about, and your band seems pretty poor. But you two are certainly come up with me now and are coming through a treat there. Over to you there, Rich. M0RDW in the group, M0EBJ.
M0EBJ. And the group M0RDW. Yeah, cool. Yes. Is it? Hopefully it is that obvious that I'm on the main station. And yeah, Sean, I'm probably what's classed as an audio extremist for my sins. So yeah, I'm well into the and I'd love to have some fun with it. It's really good. It's just something else within the hobby to enjoy, I suppose, or mess with. Yeah, I might be a perpetual messer. There we go. Don't know. Anyway, sounds fine. If anything, I would pull a little bit of low end out of it. It sounds nice. It just sounds a little soft. And for me, instead of adding top in to brighten it, which I don't think would be a good idea, I'd pull some lows out. And that way it will get brighter naturally anyway, and should sound a bit better. It's just a little soft, a little warm, cuddly, soft sounding. I think just pulling a bit of low out will just brighten it up and give it a nice, clean edge, Sean. That's my thoughts anyway. M0RDW, group over.
G000Q, yeah, I'd pull more out on the lows, but I'm only using the Yaesu inbuilt EQ parametric 3-band. I've got no external gear here, and it's an SE Electronics condenser mic, so that's I've just another couple of notches on the lows out, so hopefully that's has that made it any brighter for you, Richard, over?
It hasn't necessarily made it brighter, but it's definitely had a desired effect. It's clearer. It sounds less kind of soft. It has a bit of an edge to it now. Definitely shifted in the right direction. I wouldn't necessarily say pull any more lows out now, but it might be a case of just add a tad at the top end just to see if you can balance a little brightness into it, but only a smidgen. The only reason I say don't touch the low end now is I think if you take any more out, it won't have any presence. Over.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is interesting because it's now starting to resemble somebody else. Somebody sent me some details, and anyway. So I've left the lows exactly where they are. I'm on the eyes now, which I'm set at 3200, and that is currently at 5. So I'm going to increase that a little bit now as we talk. That's now up to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's an increase up to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should have made quite a change with what you've said about the lows and now the highs, Richard, over.
Okay, I didn't really notice much difference between the 5 it was on, the 6 that you changed it to, and the 7 that you tried it on as well. Yeah. That tells me to set that back to 5, and then you've got a mid-band somewhere, haven't you?
Yeah, that's correct, over.
Yeah. Can you alter the mid-band and maybe try it -1 and -2 from where it currently is?
Yeah, okay. Well, it was on -8 on the mids. And the mid-range, I've set that to 700 on the frequency. So that's at -1. Okay, that's now at -3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm back at -8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm now going back up the other end. That's back at -3. 1, 2, 3, 4, Richard, over.
Right, okay. So -8 sounds the best. I think that may be in the wrong place. And that's why a dramatic amount of pulling out or gain only has the subtlest of differences, is because it's not in the right place. Or it's the wrong width. Can you alter the width, the center frequency, and obviously you can alter the gain plus or minus, yeah?
Yeah, I can alter 3, all 3. I can alter the gain, the frequency, and the width, which is the Q factor. So at the moment, on the mids, I'm -8. Frequency is 700, and the Q factor or the width is 2 over.
Right, okay, so I'm going to imagine that could possibly be 2 octaves. Change that to 1. See what that sounds like, the width, over.
Yeah, okay, that's it now at number 1, which is just 1 notch up. So that's at number 1, over.
Now try that at number 3.
Okay, and that's at number 3. Now, I'm presuming you're detecting a difference because I'd hate to think that I have to click the OK dialog box at the bottom to actually make it. It is making a difference, is it, Richard?
It is, yeah. Some subtle, and the one you've just done has just widened it, has just made the biggest difference of anything from going to 2 to 3. Is like, now that's a step in the right direction.
Okay, well that was altering the width then. So where do we go from here? I've got a gain of 8, gain of -8 on the mids, and a bandwidth factor of 3 over.
I'm just going to say, just for the sake of it, try bandwidth 4. But 3, where it is now, sounds really good.
Okay, well that's now gone to a bandwidth of 4. Bandwidth of 4, Richard. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll quickly go back to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 at 3. Over.
There isn't a massive load of difference. But I think number 3 is definitely in the ball, but definitely like where you want to be. For me now, that's just removed a softness, but ultimately too soft. Yeah. So it was like, not weak, but like it was lacking punch, definition, brilliance. And just changing the width of that filter has just made all the difference over.
Yeah, okay. So do you think I'm near enough there now? You've got to remember, Richard, I'm one of these. I want it set up and I want to be done with it, over.
Okay, well, I don't know what you sound like in person. I can hear a little bit of an accent coming through. There's nothing in there that sounds wrong. There are things in there that you could improve, but using the internal EQ of the radio is a limiting factor. And I think you're somewhere pretty close for what you have. Ask Steve. It's no point having just my opinion. I'll just see what Steve says, over.
Yeah, M0EBJ. Yeah, taking that bandwidth from 2 to 3, absolutely, just as you say, that made a big difference, Sean. Yeah, that definitely made a difference. So, well done on that, Rich. And you're just about, you're not quite as you were on the 3000, Sean, but all that is a lot closer. That I'm sure that you'll that's definitely a good move. G000Q in the group, M0EBJ.
Yeah, okay, G000Q now. I'm just slightly confused. There's 6. There's a bank of 3 parametric EQ settings. And then there's another bank of 3 which is for processing. So the ones I've just changed are the first bank, which are no processing. I've actually turned that off. How is that sounding to you now, guys, over?
So you haven't got the processor in. You had it in before, did you?
I did, yes.
Yeah, give us a bit more audio.
Can you set the EQ settings for both non-processor and processor the same?
Yeah, that's what I intended.
And then when you turn the processor on and off, we should be able to hear the difference just the processor makes.
Okay, well, you just have a quick over with Steve, and I'll change that other bank of 3. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
no problem. So whatever you've done now, Sean, that has just brought it out a bit more, hasn't it, Rich?
Being honest, I think that may have been a band conditions. He's just shot up to like 30 over with me. And I wasn't looking at the S meter. I heard the change with my ears, and then looked at the S meter, over.
Yeah, Yeah, just set both of them the same, Sean. Rich in out 20-25 over now. Nice signal, mate. Yeah, so we've got a big doublet up now, 240 feet. And if you have a look at my QRZ page, you'll see my my technical antenna tuner, which will take all the amp will give it, and to not give me RF. Can you believe that? Back to you, Rich.
Oh, wow. Wow, okay. So a little sandwich box full of 2mm spaced capacitors that'll take 400 watts. Awesome, mate. Absolutely fantastic, Steve. Over.
Sandwich box? That's on a bit of wood. What are you looking at? Oh, you've seen it, yeah. That's what we're using, mate. No problems at all.
Well, glad you found something that worked. I'm not quite sure how an antenna tuner can instigate RF or not.
But normally, when you get like stuff like that, which is not actually covered,
the same
some people take the covers off the APU, and you get a bit of RF around.
Kind of
but
I just thought that
I'm
was
quite
the
lucky. I've had no issues at all. The 600 ohm feed is right in there behind it. You can see the 1-to-1 current choke on the wall behind it, and for now, that's what we're using. Just a basic L match, and it tunes this doublet from 10 through to 160.
Awesome. I think mine might be a T match. I'm not sure. Palstar AT5K. I just got it because I could. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't fault it other than a nearby lightning strike. Not direct, obviously, but a nearby one. Took out the diodes in the Broom Bridge, and also the precision resistors in there as well. For the metering circuits, it destroyed them. Open circuit. It even did me dummy load in as well. Not impressed. But yeah, my dummy load is 2 100 ohm, 800 watt hybrid ceramic resistors. They actually look like a transistor that you bolt to a heatsink. So I just run 2 of those in parallel to get 50 ohms and have 1.6 kilowatts of dissipation on a big heatsink. That's my dummy load. It works mint. But it didn't like the nearby lightning strike. I think one of the resistors went down to like 27 ohms and the other one went up to like 550 something ohms. I was like, oh no. So yeah, 100 quid lightning strike. Over.
Now here we go. Let's see if Sean's back. Are you back, Sean?
Yeah, okay, guys. G000Q. Yeah, I've set both banks the same. I'm just closing that dialog. And at the moment, I'm not using any processing, compression, whatever you want to call it. So that's with no processing. Now I'm going to go to processing now, guys. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and that's with a very small amount of processing, probably about 5 dB, even less. So that's with processing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's still on, and that's with processing off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go.
Yeah, for me, I struggle to detect any difference with the processor on and the processor off.
Okay, well, it's basically turned down. I'll increase processing, yeah?
Yeah, chuck a little bit more on and see what happens.
Yeah, okay, that's with a bit of processing on. Let's just change the meter over ALC at the moment. Compression 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's about 6 dB of compression over.
Right, okay. Now I can hear a difference. And the difference maybe isn't good actually. It's just highlighted something in the audio.
Okay, so that's processing on. I've backed it down a little bit. It's still very low, maybe about 4 dB of processing. And now I've turned it off, so like I say, both banks of EQ are set identical. I'm just switching between processing on and processing off, Richard, over.
Yeah, that's fine. The top band of your EQ, I think you said it was at 3.2K, maybe-ish. What's that currently set at, game-wise?
What, the frequency or gain? Oh, sorry, gain. Yeah, gain set at 5, Q factor of 1.
Okay, change that to 4, maybe even 3.
Okay, that's at number 4, number 4, number 4. And now I'm going to, that's down at number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over.
Okay, is that with compression on?
Sorry, guys, you double.
Is that with compression on?
Okay, on. And now I've turned processing on, compression on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over.
Okay, and you've changed the EQ for the processor as well as the non-processor.
Oh, hang on, this is where it caught me. Just stand by.
Very quickly, Steve, what do you reckon of that? I think it's made it a little more natural sounding, slightly less harsh on the top end.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an improvement as well. So we'll see what it's like once he come back with the processor set the same as well. That is the trouble with them, isn't it? When you have to set both banks.
Yeah, you have to set the EQ for with the processor and with that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really good. As in, say you want to create really sharp, horrible, nasty, DX cornflakes audio. You can do that with the EQ for when the processor's on, and then when you turn the processor off, you can have the, the armchair, wide-sounding audio. Brilliant. But yeah, if you want to run armchair audio with a bit of processing, then obviously you have to set everything identical, and it becomes a pain in the backside. Over.
Anyway, back to you, Sean, if you're back.
Yeah, exactly that, Steve and Richard. You've got to remember to change your processing. You've also got to change the EQ processing. Anyway, I'm currently running with a gain of 3 on the highs, frequency of 3200, Q factor is 1, gain of 3, and that's without. I am using processing now. Now I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn that processing off. Let's just get the mouse on the right thing. I'm very slow with the mouse, but that's with processing off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're processing off, over.
Wow. That's beginning to do what it says on the tin now.
How do you mean, Richard?
Okay, so the processor on, the processor off, you can hear the difference. I can hear, now you've backed the top end off a little bit, that it doesn't sound, it doesn't sound quite as forced at the top end. It just fits in nice, sounds like it should do. There's some sense of balance there within reason. Obviously taking into account you've only got 3 bands of EQ. Yeah. So for me, that actually sounds pretty good. You can tell that it isn't standard communications quality audio. It does go above and beyond that, over.
Okay, so I feel I'm getting somewhere. So just quickly, remember I'm running, my wife actually butted in the start of your over, Richard. So do you prefer it with the processing off like it is now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or with the processing on? It's all right. It's a bugger to click on the tick box. I've got really poor hands. I've got a bit of a medical condition, Richard. But anyway, that's processing on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is processing off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, me personally, I prefer the more natural sound of the processor off. I like that sound. But when you turn the processor on, it just, I don't know, it just makes everything go up a notch, which is exactly what it should do. I just think it detracts a little bit from the naturalness of it with the processor off. So, for DX, processor on, for RAG2, processor off. For me, that's how a radio should be set up, over.
Yeah, G0. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you said that, Richard, because I've never really been one for using processor. I don't know, there's just something about it. You get that sort of less is more, isn't it? But I'm running it off, and just for rag chewing on 80 meters at this sort of bandwidth, which is its maximum, about 4K. That's where I'll leave it, and hopefully we're there now, Richard, or somewhere very, very close, over.
For me, I think it sounds better now than when I initially called in. So for me, it's definitely a thumbs up. I think we've removed a veil of cloud from the audio. It kind of has become more. It has more clarity. But it still remains balanced. It's clear enough without being too sharp, and it's lost that softness. It's still soft and smooth, but it's not too soft and smooth and woolly and cotton woolly and stuff. It's now got a little edginess to balance out the low end. You've now got the tops to balance out the low end instead of sounding too harsh, but you could only hear the tops sounding too harsh when you pulled the mids out because there were too many mids in there. So you've had to how can I say? For me, I couldn't have just told you to change this to this and that to that. I know roughly what's wrong with it, but when you were changing the values up and down of the gain and it wasn't really doing much, I knew that the gain wasn't the issue. It's either a center frequency or a width. And when we pulled out that mid-range, it allowed the top end to shine through. But because there was a bit too much gain there, because it was masked by the mids, all of a sudden when you remove the mask, it was just sticking out a little bit sharp. So just rein that back, and now it sounds absolutely pucker for a 3-band in the radio EQ. Yeah, I actually didn't know that an internal AC EQ could actually sound that good, over.
Yeah, okay, G0-OQ. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. And that's it. I'll lock and load it, as they say. And yeah, I'll name that after you. Actually, it's just one of these things, isn't it? They're all slightly different. It's a new radio. It's a little bit different to set up to the 3. It's got the same parametric EQ settings as such, but it just sounded slightly different, I guess. And anyway, if you're happy, if Steve's happy, I'm happy. EBJ, G0-OQ group.
G0-OQ in the group and 0 EBJ. It's like chalk and cheese. That really is absolutely spot on now, Sean. Definitely lock and load it, mate. That is, I think you're going to get some great report. Well, you will do, because that does sound really nice. And as Rich said, just, it was amazing. Just a couple of them final alterations just finished it right off. And it was a really busy, crowded band. You can always, as you say, you can put it on when you call a bit of DX, pop the processor on there. I'll just give you that little bit of lift. But it's absolute, as Rich saying, it's doing what it should do. And yeah, it sounds very nice, Sean. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, G0-OQ. Just munching on a wine gun. Lovely. Listen, guys, my wife's outside waiting for me with a glass of wine, and I'm getting a bit husky in the throat. I said this an hour ago. Hopefully, I'm going to leave it alone now. It's quite stressful changing radios. It just seems to go on and on and on. And I hate to say this, but Richard, I'm thinking about an RE20 next, so you'll have to come back and do it all again, over.
Zero RDW. Well, generally, you find that as long as the microphones don't have too much of a different EQ curve, then you will find that the EQ probably won't need changing. The EQ is more voice dependent than microphone dependent. All mics have a similar EQ curve. Just some capture certain details better than others. You know, some are more sensitive, some are less sensitive. Dynamic, condenser, you know. But in essence, as long as the transducer, which converts the sound frequency waves, SPL from your voice box into electrical signals, that won't change much. So you can probably change the character of your sound, but you won't have to EQ because it won't change the EQ that much. It may require plus or minus 1 here or there, but that's literally, don't worry about it, over.
Yeah, very good, Richard. It can be a look. I don't pretend to know anything about EQ, and I know there's a bunch of you guys who are really into it. You know Steve, OGS, I think he's got an ear for good audio, so I'll run this by him. And I'll have a listen to myself. Paul up the road sent me a recording I'll listen to shortly. But Richard, thanks for your help, and you, Steve. Really appreciate it, and hopefully that's the end of it, and I can put it to bed. Once again, thanks, guys. I'll clear on this one if you don't mind anyway. Richard, cheers. Speak soon. Around to you, Steve. G0OOQ, now going QRT for the evening.
Okay, Sean, very good evening to you, mate. And yeah, that's spot on. Really is nice. And yeah, you won't have to do anything with that now. That's absolutely spot on. Cheers, Sean. Have a good evening. And nice to catch up with you briefly. G0OOQM0EBJ. Over to you, Rich.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, nice to speak to you, Sean, and glad I could steer you in the right direction. When you've got a gruff throat, a gruff voice, that's the best time. Come on the radio and play audio. You can reach those octaves that you couldn't before. Anyway, you go and enjoy your drink. Enjoy the audio. I'm sure we'll speak soon. Take care. All the best. 7-3. Bye-bye, Sean.
Yeah, cheers, Richard. All the best.
Anyway, Rich, nice to... yeah, that's quite funny when they said, oh, you can tell I'm on the main station. Absolutely. But nice to hear you again, Rich. It's... yeah, the band's been pretty crap all day, hasn't it, actually, to be honest with you. But there we go. Yeah, so... yeah, I've been doing really well this lately. I worked at US Virgin Island on the top end of 80 metres a couple of 3 nights ago. That's quite nice. Yeah, the old doubler seems to be working a treat there, Rich. I'm not going to hold it long. I need to just wander around and see my mum at 7 o'clock. I said I'd pop round and see her, so I've got another few minutes, and then I'll just wander next door, make sure she's all right. Oh, she wanted me to do something. I can't remember what it was. Probably something with her computer, because she's always buggering something up. You know, the worst thing she does, right? Don't ask me how she must do it once a week. Right, she unclicked the icons on the top of the taskbar. So she turns the internet on, and she can't find her Facebook or her email. She just turned off the icons at the top of the screen. I don't know how she does it. I didn't do a thing, she said. I didn't do a thing, but she's 88 there, Rich. M0RDW, M0EBJ.
M0EBJ, M0RDW. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from with that. Yeah. Yeah, I think where something Mum was doing on the tablet. It used to take me weeks to undo. I think it took her like seconds to do. I've still not worked out how she managed to do it. But there we go. And yeah, tell them at the home station. That's awesome, that is. Being honest, it's nice to fire it up and blast a bit of dust off. And of course, Steve, when I'm not here, obviously I still have the ability to listen in full fidelity, and most evenings, if I get the chance, I'll have my SDR on listening to... oh, actually, that's a thing. I heard you... well, I didn't hear you, and I didn't hear Peter, but I heard a KG8 station on, I think, on 20 metres. He gave your call sign and gave you a report, and then had a 5-minute chat with Peter afterwards with a report. So I heard his side of, I heard the conversation the same as you heard it. And I was like, next time I speak to them, I'll ask them about that. So there you go, Steve. I didn't hear you work America, but I heard the American speak to you whilst you were working him, if that makes sense. Over.
Yeah, we went up there for a little while, and we're on WhatsApp, you know, video chat. And I said, come on, let's go up on 20 metres, Peter, go and work some DX. So we called the QC2, and one come back to us. And then that KG8 came back, and yeah, he had a good old chinwag with Peter. That was quite good. And yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's just that particular night, I was only on half of the doublet. I had a wee problem with the doublet. All of a sudden the other day, the SWR shot up and all my tuning went wrong. And where the end of the doublet, there's about 20-30 feet if it goes at right angles at one end. And it goes through an old plastic dog bone, quite a big one. And it actually melted through the dog bone insulator and melted the wire. And there was a bit of slack in the cable, and I give it a yank. And then I come back in the shack, and I was on the radio 10 minutes later, and everything went a bit skew-whiff. So that night, I was just loading up one leg of the doublet as an inverted L. That night we were on 20 metres, so I was surprised it was working so well there, Rich. Back to you.
Well, it worked. I heard the effects of it. I didn't actually hear it myself. I didn't hear, you know, not even a snippet of you or Peter. But Edward, KG8, I can't remember his call. Was he in Idaho, maybe? I'm just trying to remember. See if my grey matter memory recall still works. Over.
KG8 Yankee Alpha, wasn't it? And he was in Ohio, I think. But yeah, Ohio, that's right. But yeah, no, that's good. And we quite often do that because the band's a bit crap. It was really noisy on 80. And yeah, we just disappeared up on 20. And we can just about hear each other on 20 metres, actually. We're only about 18, 20 mile apart. Maybe 20, yeah, about 20 mile apart. And we can just, we're both running 400 watts. We can just about hear each other. It's strange, really. But we're on WhatsApp anyway, so that's quite nice to just go and do that and then compare signals because we're very similar antennas, similar height. Yeah, it's good. Anyway, Rich, I'm going to quickly disappear and just wander around and see Mum and probably put her flipping icons back on the top of the screen or something or other. That'll be something stupid. She can't get the sound out of the computer and she'll forgot to turn the speaker on. Or yeah, you know the score, pal. Anyway, you take care. Great to hear you on the main station, and I'm sure if you give a couple of calls out, you get plenty of people to come back to you. If you're 20-25 over on the last one, no worries at all. M0RDW, always a pleasure, Rich, and we speak soon. I can hear you on the other station as well, but it's just a tad different, Rich. Back to you.
I like that. The emphasis on just a tad, with a big smirk across your face. Yeah, that's cool, mate. You know, it's nice being using other people's stations. It's lovely that they'll let me do that, and I have that, you know, facility, ability, whatever. But there's just something that doesn't quite compare to being sat here and you know, doing what I enjoy, doing what I do best, and yeah, this is what it's all about, you know. So also, I'm glad I found somebody I knew on the air anyway, and had a quick natter with you. I might have a quick look around on 40 or 20. I noticed there's an India. Oh no, I have to be careful. I don't want Qatar Indian variant of COVID. No speaking to Indians today. No, I might have a mooch around in a bit of DX somewhere anyway. If not, I'll shut everything down and call it a day. Right, Steve, all the best. Lovely. I'm so glad I caught up with you, and I'll speak to you soon. You know how it is. Don't know how long it'll be, but it will be. Take care. 7-3. All the best.
Yeah, 7-3. Rich, take it easy, man. Good to hear you.
EBJ.
M0 EBJ. Go and kill us.
M0 mate. Cheers and beer, Steve.
Ta-da, boy.
Catch you later, mate. Bye.
Golf Whiskey Zulu, SL Golf Quebec, calling goodbye.
stand by. Have you gone, Steve? Yeah, okay. The station calling, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you have Golf Whiskey Zero, Echo Golf Quebec, GW0, Echo Golf Quebec in Flintshire, right?
GW0EGQ, M0RDW. Yeah, good evening. The name here is Rich. I'm located in Stoke-on-Trent. I'll have a glance at the S-meter on your next transmission. But you're easily readable anyway. Definitely a readability 5. So yeah, so I'll give you an S-meter reading on your next transmission. 400 watts, 80 meter doublet, up at around 50 feet. Yeah, that's the working conditions. And the name is Rich, Romeo India Charlie Hotel. From M0RDW, over.
Yeah, M0RDW, GW0EGQ. Yeah, fine, Rich. Good afternoon to you there. Sorry to break in if I walk on top of your other section. But just wanted a very quick check there. We've just been rerouting some of the feeder cables. Working condition this way, 100 watts, G5RV at about 30 feet. And WX, absolutely fantastic. So back to you, Rich. Anyway, you're pushing about 5 and 8, 5 and 9 with me, so no problem whatsoever from Stoke-on-Trent. M0RCW, GW0EGQ.
GW0EGQ from M0RDW. Yeah, absolutely fine. You're 5 and 5 with me. Quite unusual. My noise floor is usually around the S5, and it's around the S3 at the moment, so I'll be glad of that. And yeah, you're 5 and 5 with me, no problem at all. On other days, I may struggle as you're approaching the noise floor, but today you're not, so it's not a problem. GW0EGQ, M0RDW.
Yes, M0RCW, GW0EGQ. Yeah, Rich, all copied there, no problem. Yep, it's, that one is nice to know, but it's interesting to know that someone else has a noise floor on this band. At the moment, we're probably around about S3, which is quite reasonable. It has been down to about S1 to 2. But like yourself, it's normally up around S5, and no idea why it should be. The other bands are as clear as a whistle, but this one doesn't seem to want to be any good at all. So, just been playing around, I'll just moved the aerial feeder around a bit and brought it in slightly differently. And it's a bit neater, a bit tidier, and nice to know it's working out anyway. I won't keep you, Rich, there. If you want to have a look around the band and sort things out. Nice to talk to you for the first time, and very best 73s from North Wales. M0RCW, GW0EGQ.
GW0EGQ from M0RDW. Yeah, absolutely smashing, no problem at all. And yeah, for me, VDSL is what causes my noise floor. If I look at the pan adapter and zoom out, you will see that below 3.7 meg and below is not notched out for VDSL, and the noise floor is approximately 15 to 20 dB more than what it is above 3700 to 3800. And it's full of all porcupiney spikes. And if I go and transmit there, it all changes. So I presume somebody's modem has just disconnected and is relearning. Really, really bad. Ofcom should have never allowed it. It breaks every single rule in the book. Don't know what they're playing at, but anyway, we'll leave it at that. But it's VDSL in my case anyway. GW0EGQ, M0RDW.
Yeah, M0RCW0EGQ. Yeah, fine. Okay, Rich, yeah, interesting to know that. One theory I've always sort of never been able to put my finger on is what if there's anything to do with these smart meters, which have, suddenly started to pop up around all over the place. Well, we've got one. I think just about everybody else has. But this noise floor seems to have occurred around about the time these started to become quite common. But nevertheless, pure theory, pure speculation. Nothing to back it up whatsoever, Rich. Anyway, let you go there, have a look around the band, and thanks very much for coming back to the call there and for the signal reports and so on. Nice to know things are still working despite the fact we've been meddling. M0RCW, GW0EGQ, wishing that station a very good evening, 7-3, and stay safe.
Absolutely no problem at all. GW0EGQ, M0RDW for a final, and yeah, if they could turn VDSL off nationally and get every amateur radio operator to look at, say, 3680, and log the change in background signal noise. I'm sure every single amateur in the UK would realise how much Ofcom have screwed us, and by allowing BT or Open World or wherever it is to do what they've done and not notch out the whole amateur bands, they only notch out parts of it. What a joke. Absolutely useless. I am beyond comment. On that note, take care, enjoy your bank holiday, and I'm sure we'll speak again. All the best, and 7-3. Golf Whiskey 0 Echo Golf Quebec, Mike 0 Romeo Delta Whiskey. Cheers and beers, all the best. Bye-bye.
Yes, cheers, Rich. Thanks very much, 7-3s, and good luck, mate. Interesting to see how we get on with this noise floor. Never mind, that's what it's all about. 7-3s, Rich, and leave you with the frequency there. GW0EGQ going to URC.
Bye-bye.
Okay, nothing heard. M0RDW is now clearing the frequency. I'm going to do a little bit of DX.
Какую антенну применяете, Александр, на прием?
Now, Commander, and speed is the 10 watts. Hope to copy you again, and good luck with the upgrading on your license. M7, Mike Sierra Romeo, IV3GK. Good evening and best regards. Thank you, M73. Skjord at IV3GK. This is India, Victoria 3, Germany, Kilowatt Echo. Any stateside? Any North America station? Coordinate 20 meters, India, Victoria 3, Germany, Kilowatt Echo, any South American station? ¿Alguna estación de Centroamérica, Sudamérica, India, Victoria 3, Granada, kilómetro España? Hola, 20 metros, EQ 20 metros, Italia, Victoria 3, Golf, Kilo, Echo.
The rest for me is not important. And of course, also I'm working with SSB LSP. No CW, no electronic systems. QSL, Tom, over.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm also just running SSD, but I think that situation will improve on temperature. So now, as I said, I was working in South America, Chile, nice signals on 10 meters in the nighttime. So it's coming back, I would say. I agree, it's not the same as it was a long time ago. I made my license in 1983, so I'm also quite some time on the band. But you're right, it's not at that stage at the moment. But still, sometimes I'm listening and I'm working stations on 10, but I prefer 20 meters at the moment, that's for sure. Okay, John, 73, take care.
Yeah, absolutely right. And Tom.
Okay, Italy Zulu 1, Romeo Fox Papa, good evening, 5-9.
See, okay, William, my name is Sergio, 5x9, microphone back to you.
Okay, Sergio, good evening, pleasure to meet you, 5-9. A real report, okay?
Okay, grazie, 73, William.
Thank you, Sergio, ciao, grazie.
Italy Whiskey 3, Hotel Lima Bravo. Tango X-ray. 5 Bravo 4, Alpha Italy X-ray.
Yeah, 5 Bravo 4, Alpha Italy X-ray. Is that you, not?
Yeah, Roger, Bill, good evening. Thanks very much indeed. 5758, just a little bit of QSC.
Yeah, good, loud and clear from you too, Noz. Yes, pleased to see you first time on 20 this year. 59 on peak, Noz, okay?
Yeah, Roger, Bill. Thanks very much indeed. Let's take the station calling. We'll always catch up again soon there, Bill. Take good care. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday and best of health. Bye-bye.
Yeah, same to you and yours, Noz. Thank you. The pleasure's mine. Good night. Zulu Sierra 6, Charlie Yankee. Alpha Radio Yankee again. Okay, Ron, good evening. Nice to see you again. Sugar Papa 8, Alpha Radio Yankee, 5 and 9. Thank you. Good report, Ron. Good night to you. Zulu Sierra 6, Charlie Yankee. Golf Oscar. Mexico, India 7, Delta Golf Oscar is correct. Okay, David, good evening. This is Bill, BILL, Mike India 7, Delta Golf Oscar. 5 and 7, David, over. Seven, 3.
Italy 8. Okay, Alpha 7. Delta Victor, Juliet Kilo.
Zero. Yeah, give me the call again.
Italy 8, Victor, Juliet Kilo.
Okay, I got Mike India 0, Juliet again. Yeah, okay, Mike India 0, Juliet Zulu. Good evening. You're 5 and 7. Yeah, what is your name? Okay, Chris, good one. Good evening. Pleasure to meet you. Up and down, 5759, Chris, okay? Okay, the Mike India 0, come again.
Whiskey, over.
Is it Hotel Mike Yankee? Alan, what is your call? Okay, Alan, I got it. Mike India 0. Hotel Mike Yankee. Fine. Okay, Alan, always a pleasure to hear Northern Ireland. Good night to all of you. 7-3. Alpha Oscar Victor, what is it? Yeah, okay, Rob, good evening. Pleasure to meet you. Mike 0. In Alpha Oscar Victor. 5-9 yourself, Rob, over. Yeah, always a pleasure, Rob. Have a good evening, okay? 73. Golf 6, Alpha Sierra Kilo. Good evening, John. 5-9.
Germany 0 Sugar Fox Go. Let me see. Listen me. Funny. Because your suffix is my town. My town is San Feliu de Guiso. Sugar Fox Golf, ain't you know?
Bravo 4 Alpha Italy X-ray.
73, 5 Bravo 4.
Yeah, Roger, Luca. Nice to hear you in Cagliari. This is 5 Bravo 4 Alpha Italy X-ray. Alpha Italy X-ray. Buongiorno, you are 5-9, 59, 5-9, Luca.
Okay, I don't sure, but I'm listening Mike Bravo 4 Alpha Italy X-ray, that's correct, over.
Negativo. 5 Bravo 4 Alpha Italy Celofano. 5 Bravo 4 Alpha Italy Celofano. Che sale?
Kilo South Ryan. Nice to meet you. So, I'm so really happy. I haven't listened to so many times. The last
Fox Tango DX10. Hello, brother, from my video because I'm using also a big brother, Fox Tango DX101 Delta. Everyone is good, of course. Of course, everyone is good. I like Jesus because long time ago I used Jesus. Long time. Да, я теперь, вот, я думаю...
Per un passeíto y demás y sin nada. Al mundo lleno.
Very nice to hear with my own call out with a couple of views hi-fi.
Scritto da riposto in provincia di Catania.
1,500 volts in plate is perfect. And I'm using Yagi system 3-element full size in this bender, about 48 meters off the Mediterranean Sea. Tony, Roger.
Kyoto 20, Echo American number 5, Hotel Japan Victor. Echo American 5, Hotel Japan Victor. Looking for the X, over. Hello 20 meters. I'm looking for the X20. Echo America 5, Hotel Juliet Victoria. Echo America number 5, Hotel Japan Victor. Keyword set. Florida 4, Hotel Papa Quebec. Florida 4, Hotel Papa Quebec. How are you doing? My name is Frank. And your signal, your 5 and 9, 59 clear, over. Secure 20 meters, India, Zulu, Zero, Germany, Yankee, radio 20.
Italy, Uniforme 3, Bravo, Tango, Yankee, QRZ.
Eco America 2, Eco Lima Sierra, Brasil, Sul America, Papa Yankee 6, Romeo Tango, 59. Ok amigo, Eco America 2, Eco Lima Sierra, Brasil, Sul América, Papa Yankee número 6, Romeo Tango, 59, graças, 73, obrigado. Brasil, South America, Papa Yellow number 6, Radio Tango, what is it? Yankee Papa? Okay, Yankee Papa, repeat your call. Oscar November 6, Yankee Papa, 5-9. Oscar November 6, Yankee Papa. 3, what is that? Okay, Lima Alpha 1, Mike Sierra, 5-9. Alpha 1, India Sierra, India. Lima Zulu 1, Mexico Sierra, 5-9. Okay, Sofia, Bulgaria, Lima Zulu 1, Mike Sugar, Papa Yellow number 6, Radio Tango, good luck, 73, what is that? Okay, Sugar Tango. Okay, Lima Zanzibar 1, Sugar Tango, 5-9. Okay, Lima Zulu 1 Sugar Tango, good luck, 73 coordinates. Okay, Mexico 0, Alpha Oscar Victor, 5-9. Okay, Mexico 0, Alpha Oscar Victor, good luck, 73 coordinates. Oscar Hotel 9, Echo November Alpha, Laponia, Happy, Papayello number 6, Radio Tango, 5 and 9 class, big signal.
And please, everybody, stand by.
Yankee, Italy, Uniforme 3, Bravo 2, Yankee, QRZ.
Ahora mismo.
Sí, no, con 12 años y hasta conoce, las he visto yo en la península llegar y llegar a la casa a las 4 o las 5 de la mañana y decirle la madre y el padre que dónde has estado, dice déjame en paz muchacho, así los he visto yo un montón de ellos.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie, Bronx George, calling CQ2-DX. Victor Echo 3, Canada, Radio Germany. V3 Charlie, Roger George, calling CQ2-DX. The Echo Lima Sierra, give me that again. Echo Lima Sierra, Echo Alpha 2, Echo Lima Sierra. Okay, Roger, muchas gracias. Yvonne, nice to hear you again. You're 5 and 4. Brian, okay, Yvonne. EA2ELS, V3 Charlie, Roger, George, great amigo. Okay, muchas gracias, amigos. Thanks for the 5 and 657. Conditions are not very good today, Yvonne. Anyway, nice to hear you again. Enjoy the rest of the day and the evening, and we'll talk again when conditions are a little better, Yvonne. EA2ELS, V3 Charlie, Roger, George. Adios, amigo. Hasta la vista. Yeah, okay. Thanks very much. Mike 0. There was a Mexico 0 there. Okay, I've got somebody for the phone. Who is that? Nothing heard. This is E3 Charlie. Roger George checking for any DX, over. Was there a UK station in there? There's quite a few stations calling, but I couldn't get any particular call. Is there a UK station here? Go ahead. Okay, the mobile. Who's the mobile? Was that Whiskey Echo 8? Juliet Mobile? Juliet Mexico Mobile? Okay, fine, Malvin. Thanks very much. Whiskey 8, Juliet, Stroke Mobile, I suppose. This is V3, Charlie, Roger, George. Thanks. Very good. Good afternoon to you, Malvin. You're about a 554 near Ottawa. And the name is Brian Bravo Romeo. Into the offer actually. Okay, Malvin. WEJ, go ahead.
hotel being outside there in Dayton, Ohio, and near the Hamfest there. I'll tell you, it was on this year. Anyway, you have a good drive, stay safe, and take care on the road there, Melvin. And we'll talk to you again maybe from the home 2GH. WEAJ mobile. It's on your office doors here, Father. Go ahead, Melvin. I just got a new mower a couple of days ago. I've been playing around with that. I've been doing a bit of mowing myself yesterday. This is 22 horsepower, quite a big animal, really. 42-inch cutter on it, but it's just about right for the area I've got to do here. But it's quite a big one up to what I was using before. Anyway, very good, and nice sunny day here. It's not overly hot, like 21 degrees. We're going up to 32 next week, so it'll be a different story going to that sort of weather. But this sunshine weather today, Wayne. She was, by the way, you may find to the usual, but the tennis girl,
G0WXU 5 and 9. QSL John G0 Whiskey X-ray uniform. Hi John, nice to meet you. I am Italy uniform 3 Bravo Tango Yankee. Another time Italy uniform 3 Bravo Tango Yankee. Name yours Val Victor Alpha Lima. Thank you for.
Hablo un día Antonio. Pues nada, pues si alguna vez quiere algo tenemos una frecuencia local.
Charlie Echo Hotel, you are 59, Echo Uniform 068, 73, many thanks. By QRZ, Togo Mike 6, Kilo Juliet Sierra. Papa Delta 0, only Papa Delta 0, please. Papa Delta 0, Foxtrot Sierra Bravo 59. Okay, QSL 73, many thanks. The station from Bulgaria, please.
Lima Zulu 1 Mike Sierra. Lima Zulu 1 Mike Sugar.
Okay, QSL, Lima Zulu 1, Mike Sierra 59.
Merci beaucoup, also 59 in Sofia. À bientôt.
Ok, merci beaucoup, 73, au revoir. QRZ,
Hay forma que aparezca por aquí en radio el zorro ese.
Hello, Security Act.
Whiskey Oscar Golf 02 calling, 328 calling and by on the frequency 27.
Questa cosa come diventa grande, ecco, diventa grande, però 7JBZ. Echo Alpha 7JBZ. So if you're around 40 metres, around about 6:15, 6:30 on a Monday night, 7165 plus or minus, stay over, over.
I heard them on there.
Maybe I just heard you again, but I probably heard another G0 station, but just perhaps it was you there, Ray. Okay, back to you there, Trevor, with a pause.
Mike 0 Sierra Tango Papa Portable. Mike 0 Sierra Tango Papa over.
Yeah, I've got Mike 0 Sierra Tango Portable, Sierra Tango Papa Portable. Anybody else? Well, just the one there. And yeah, I was going to pass it over to Neil, but let me pass it over to Mike 0 Sierra Tango Papa Stroke Portable. You're coming in 5 and 8, 5 and 9 here in the Netherlands, so I'm not quite sure if I remember the name of that call sign, but you can give us that. Taken over, please, and then will you pass it to Neil, which is G1 SX3. So it's M0 STP Portable PA3BH. Over to you.
This is Mike 0 Sierra Tango Papa Portable. My name is James. Good evening to you, Trevor. My name is James, and I'm in Thetford, Tango Hotel Echo Tango Foxtrot Oscar Romeo Delta, Thetford in Norfolk, about halfway between Cambridge and Norwich, running a PRC 320 into an inverted V dipole, about 30 watts. So round to you, Neil. Golf 1 Sierra X-Ray Victor, I believe. This is Mike 0 Sierra Tango Papa Portable. Over.
Golf 1 Sierra X-Ray Victor Portable. Yep, I'm receiving G0 IMV about 4 and 6, and M0 STP Portable 5 and 9. 5 and 9. So that's pretty good. I'm in